have Julie Greenwood, principal of Harewood School, and she has two students with her, Francis and Jacob. Welcome. We had a student in the other day from one of the other schools, and
yes, I did hear from Nikki that
great.
She was coming in. So tēnā koutou, everyone. Or Julie Greenwood tuko ingoa from Tuatahi or Tawera, Harewood Primary School. So as a school, we fully support the installation of lights at the Breens Gardeners Harewood Road intersection. Our school zone extends from our school, which is down Harewood Road towards Johns Road, right through to Gardeners Road, and a number of families in this area have indicated to us that they find the intersection a real barrier for sending their children to our school. It's particularly difficult to turn right from Gardeners Road into Harewood Road, and many people avoid that intersection. Lights would also provide a safe crossing point for pedestrians to cross an increasingly busy Harewood Road, and we feel that lights are a safety issue that should be prioritised. We've already expressed support for lowering the speed limit on Harewood Road, and I know that's been dealt with through a different forum. There are a number of reasons that we see this intersection as quite dangerous. Drivers often take risks because of the time that it takes to get across the intersection. We're wanting students to be walking and cycling, and it's quite dangerous crossing a busy road. Cyclists and cars have to cross through 4 lanes to get across the intersection, and it's difficult to have 4 lanes clear at all at the same time. Gardeners Road and Harewood Road both have increased traffic flow, as does Harewood Road, and with Harewood Road having 2 lanes across it, cars do often speed down there. There have been a number of accidents and close calls that have been personally witnessed by a number of our school families at that intersection. And for us, the safety of students and families is priority and needs to be prioritised. We're particularly concerned because there is a cycleway that goes down there through to the underpass at under Johns Road intersection, and so there are cyclists travelling down there. But 2 of our students, well actually quite a lot of students, I had shared with some of our year 5 and 6 students that I'd like them to consider this and write their ideas down, and that purposeful writing. They were all busy writing at lunchtimes, but 2 of our students have written about their experiences and concerns, and they'd just like to share that with you. So Jacob, do you want to start?
Yeah. I'm Jacob and I'm a year 6 at Harewood School, and I think that you should put traffic lights at the intersection of Breens, Gardeners and Harewood Road, because the intersection is a big hazard to Breens, Harewood and Cotswold school children who want to cross the road. It is scary because there are cars coming from so many different lanes. It is also frustrating to wait so long to cross the road, but if we had traffic lights, then we would just need to wait for the lights, which doesn't take too long, and it wouldn't be as dangerous. It is also very dangerous for cars coming from Gardeners Road to go straight ahead or turn right, because the intersection is so wide that it takes forever to get over to the other side. Even my parents won't go that way because it's so dangerous. On Wednesday, 2nd of May, I did cycle safety, and my whole group were biking up Gardeners Road to the big intersection, only trying to turn left, but it was very hard and scary to do this because there were cars coming from every direction. In conclusion, I think that you should put traffic lights in this busy intersection because it takes forever to turn right and go straight, but if you put traffic lights there, it wouldn't be so hard because each lane would take turns. So remember that intersection is putting lives at risk. So please put traffic lights at that intersection of Breens, Gardeners and Harewood roads.
My name's Francis and I'm a year 4 and I want Greens Road to have lights because there have been heaps of crashes there, including one that went through my grandma's front fence and almost into her bedroom. Some people say they won't put lights there until somebody gets killed, but won't that be too late? My little brother and I play in my grandma's garden all the time, and we don't want another car to go through the fence when we are playing out there. It is a dangerous intersection and we need lights before someone gets killed, not after.
Thank you very much. It's really great to hear you come along and make a submission to the council. Just one of the things that I've raised with some of the other submitters who've raised this issue is that we've had another submission from another part of the Fendleton area, where the installation of traffic lights has actually had a worse effect. It's made it more popular for traffic to use. So in fact, the traffic lights have made more cars and more trucks come to that area. And the one thing I would just be a little bit worried about is cars coming off the state highway down Gardeners Road when they know there are traffic lights to take them across Harewood Road, and then you get trucks and cars coming down past Breens Intermediate and into Wairaki Road, and you just create another bottleneck there and another dangerous intersection. So I'm not saying that intersection's not dangerous, of course it is, but I think that people say they're looking for a safe solution. The safe solution may not actually be traffic lights. There might be something else, but something needs to be done.
My understanding is that Sawyer's Arms Road was supposed to be the arterial route and
yes.
Harewood Road not.
Yeah.
Yet Sawyer's Arms Road has got 2 lots of lights.
Yes. And that would be better if Harewood Road wasn't 4-laned. So Harewood Road is not designed for what it should be. It should be a much calmer road. And you're raising that point about the...
Absolutely. We want it to be a calmer road.
Yeah.
You know, we've got a school there.
Tim.
Thank you. On Colombo Street, we have 2 sets of lights specifically for pedestrians. One was put in for Thorrington School, and the other one was put in for St Peter's on Fisher Ave, and also for kids to get to Cashmere. Irrelevant of how many lanes, maybe just think about putting lights in, not to make things easier for the traffic, but to make things safer for the children and individuals crossing. So right. Don't worry about the traffic at all. You know, like our hierarchy is actually pedestrians first, but we don't kind of seem to follow that sometimes. So maybe have a think with your board, etc., and bring something back to council and specifically look at that, because I think it's about time that we concentrated on the true issue. Because if we make it harder, as Leanne said, if we make it easier for traffic, they will want to use that road more, which we saw the other day.
Which is an interesting concept, and I know that traffic lights, you know, that lights have been put for pedestrians near the Papanui Club and
yeah.
Sawyer's Arms Road. Yet we obviously have issues right outside our school on Harewood Road, and the indication for us was that the likelihood of pedestrian lights being put there would be very, very slim.
Which is actually why I said right from the get-go, this has to be looked at in terms of the corridor right. and the location, because having been a politician, I know the law of unintended consequences. And sometimes you ask for something and you get it, and then you find that there are unintended consequences. But the pedestrianisation, the focus on pedestrians and kids on bikes, absolutely.
Absolutely. I mean, I've got 2 grandchildren who cross Harewood Road, and we take our lives in our hands when we go together across there.
Yeah, I wouldn't walk across there. Mike, then Rav.
Thank you. I guess, you know, for decades we've been building a road basically for cars to move, and I think finally we're seeing a change where our stretch actually been designed for people, and the most important thing obviously is to get the funding on the budget for that Harewood Road intersection. So currently there's money on budget for the cycleway down Harewood Road, which would take into account that intersection, but it's been pushed right out to I think 2026, 2027. Would you therefore support bringing that cycleway forward to a much sooner date to actually get that intersection upgraded to be actually
Yes.
a safe intersection for everyone.
Because it's certainly the intersection is horrid, and you know, I had a parent who emailed me and said on I think it was Monday morning, that she had seen an incident where the pedestrians were at fault and the cars at fault, and it could have been, you know, quite a very unsafe situation, and she goes through that intersection every day on her way home. So yeah, I mean, it's around safety that we're looking at.
Thank you.
Ralph, I'll just let you one.
Well, it's not a question, it's just a comment that the intersection at Glandovey and Idris is not the same as this intersection. The intersection at Glandovey and Idris was promoted as a corridor for trucks post-earthquake. This is completely different. So this is what I'm saying.
I wasn't talking about that.
No.
Set of
And
traffic
also,
lights.
actually, the community wasn't convinced about putting lights in. We've tested this over the last couple of years. We've gone back. The community board has looked at it very closely, and we think that's the solution. Okay?
Yeah.
And so we don't need to keep hearing this other stuff the whole time.
Well, anyway.
Can I just check with Jacob and Francis, because some of us are updating people on social media. Is it okay to put your photo on Facebook?
Yeah.
Sure? Okay, thank you.
I don't, not children that age, no. I think it's sensible not to. Teacher's okay. Principal.
How about that?
Okay.
Thank you.
Look, thank you very much for coming in, and thanks kids as well. Really appreciate it.